There are a lot of political ads on TV right now that can make figuring out a candidate's position on abortion very difficult. This issue, though, is consistently among the top 3 most important for voters. Mr. Burns, please be clear. Would you vote to pass a national ban on abortion once a heartbeat is detected? Would there be any exceptions? And would there be criminal penalties for a mother or providers?
So I originally said 12 weeks when I was on here. We've also talked about the Democrat Joe Manchin bill, which is 15 weeks. I said I would vote for both of those. I've always said an exception for the life of the mother. I was misquoted when we had talked about something and I was talking about affecting the lifestyle or the mental health of the mother for late-term abortions. Never about the life of the mother. I've always been clear on that. My opponent has now come out, thankfully, in talking about viability at least 20 to 24 weeks, which I'm glad that we're moving closer to the center on this one. And also my opponent has brought up that she believes in parental consent, which I agree with her on. So I think that we're not that far off. Listen, I'm pro-life and I'm unapologetic for it. And I realize that there's the clip that say, would you vote to be pro-life or whatever it says. But then I say, or ban abortion. And I say, yes. But realistically, we know that's not going to happen. And I've always had exceptions for the life of the mother in there. I've never said anything altered to that.
All right, and quickly, any criminal penalties for a mother or
No,
provider?
I've never said criminal penalties.
All right, let's move on to you, Congresswoman Custer, and you can respond to that. We do want to ask you, you voted for the Women's Health Protection Act, which critics say would have allowed unrestricted abortion nationwide, going far beyond Roe v. Wade. So based on your vote, should Granite Staters assume your position is to have no restrictions on abortion at any time during a pregnancy?
The Women's Health Protection Act is the codification of Roe v. Wade. So I feel very strongly about this issue. I've been an adoption attorney for 25 years, and what I believe is that we need less government interference in people's personal private lives, and 3 out of 4 voters in New Hampshire agree with me, and that's why Mr. Burns is attempting to change his position tonight. So let me be very clear, because we've studied the record. For years, Mr. Burns has described himself as 100% pro-life at conception. That is the bill that will be voted in Congress, Life at Conception Act, if Mr. Burns is elected and if the Republicans take the House. There are 80% of the Republicans already co-sponsoring that bill. He said not once, but twice and 3 times during the primary that the bill that he supported would criminalize abortion before most women even know they're pregnant. And it's an inconvenient truth for him to use the word criminalize. That's exactly what it does. It's penalties putting doctors and women in jail.
Well, of course, that's completely untrue. And I've always said...
That's precisely what the bill does.
That
is precisely what the bill does. You have not said 12 weeks.
This is absolute fear-mongering that you're doing. Absolute fear-mongering.
Today, your website today.
I have been very specific on here with Adam multiple times.
Congresswoman, let's let him have his rebuttal. 30 seconds.
I've been absolutely specific with Adam on here multiple times.
During your debate, 3 times you talked about...
Yes, I did. And 3 times we brought up specifically 12 weeks. It's funny, your first attack ad commercial... This is what I said, though. I don't know what bill you're talking about.
The bill
there is
on
there is
your
no
website.
Specific bill on my website, Ann.
Absolutely.
So can I get my 30 seconds eventually?
Let's let him have 30 seconds uninterrupted to respond.
So listen, you can go to my website. There's nothing about a specific bill. It does say fetal heartbeat. We were very specific during the first debate that was 12 weeks. Okay,
it's never. Weeks.
Are you writing this legislation? You also told me I was going to get $500 million in out-of-state spending, and I never got any of that money, not a single dollar. And you said I was going to be on stage with Donald Trump this week, and that never happened either.
You probably will on Monday.
What's that?
You probably will on Monday.
Okay, I don't know where you get your
information. Let's let him reply on abortion for 20 more seconds.
Again,
uninterrupted.
I've been very specific about this. Even her first commercial said 12 weeks. There's been tens of millions, I think about $10 million of out-of-state spending in here against me alone, but against hundreds of millions across the country of distorting people's records and what they're actually saying. Most Americans do believe in abortion, but abortion with restrictions. My opponent has been very confusing about where she stands on that at times. Thank you.
Quickly, Congresswoman, and then we're going to move on. 15 seconds.
My position is very clear. I support Roe v. Wade and the standard that's been the law of the land for 50 years, and it should be the standard going forward.